What's going on, Chuckin Buckets family, Gamecock Nation? Listen, it's the Chuckin Bucket boys. We back in here for another episode of Chuckin Buckets on the Fan Addict Sports Network. I'm your boy, Coach I. You know, I got my guys with me tonight. We're going to get into a lot of things, man. Recapping the USC Trojan win, the Winthrop win, previewing Duke coming up next week out in Vegas, talking about, you know, some of the freshmen, and some streaks that the Gamecocks is on. Listen, man, we got a packed show for y'all tonight. So, hey, man, just tune in. We're going to be right back. And after this messages. Chuckin Buckets, that's right. Chuckin Bucket boys, man. We here to talk South Carolina women's basketball like we always do every Thursday night at 9 p.m. And then we're gonna have some live watch parties. We'll be dropping videos for big game previews and things of that nature. You know, here in the early season, got a couple cupcakes, so you know we won't drag y'all through the mud on those. I mean, we some basketball fanatics, so we be watching all of them. Even the Queens College gonna be on the Queens College game. If it's on TV, we're gonna find a way to watch it. So let me bring the guys in and let's get this thing started. First up is our co-host, Stat Guy. What's up, Stat? The Gamecock that's on the panel.
Hey man, look, the real USC. Go ahead and get it right. The real USC proved it on Sunday.
Facts.
We take those. Love it, man. Hey, Don's got them rolling, and hey, we just glad it's basketball season. Glad to be able to watch a Gamecock team look good at their sport.
Listen, football season is almost over, Stat. You don't have to endure it much longer, man. But let's bring it up the third member of the panel, man. It's our guy, KB. What's going on, KB?
What's good, fellas, man? How y'all doing?
Hey, man, it's always good to talk Gamecock women's basketball. Listen, man, like Stat said, a team that actually knows about winning. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that says a lot, man. That says a lot, man. I'm very excited about the topics today, man. I'm glad to get into it.
That's right, man. Is this your first time to the channel? Welcome in. This is the Fan Addict Sports Network, where we talk all SEC football and basketball. Thursdays are dedicated to the South Carolina Gamecocks. If you missed it, go back and check it on the replay game for the Stat Line with Jeff the Stat Guy. That's our guy right there, Stat Guy. And he's talking Gamecock football every Thursday at 8 o'clock during the season. And then we follow that up by talking South Carolina women's basketball at 9 o'clock. Next Wednesday at 4:30, the South Carolina Gamecocks will travel to Vegas and take on Duke Blue Devils, who aren't doing too good. But we will have a live watch party, so y'all make sure that y'all tune in for that. We'll be listen, I'll probably be the level-headed one. If things don't start out great, Stat won't be that, you know, level-headed. KB will be somewhere in between.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, man.
Timeout that never comes.
Right, because you know Dawn gonna make them play through it. You know what I'm saying? But if this is your first time to the channel, welcome in. We love to interact with people in the comments. We have some of our usuals. I know one guy I am definitely thinking is gonna hit this comment section tonight, given what's happened in a couple of games in women's basketball. But we'll see if he joins us tonight. Hit the like and subscribe button, turn on your bell notification so you always know we're gonna come up. And that's enough about that, man. Let's get into it, man. Listen. So, recap the real USC Stat. Let them know how you feel about that.
Yeah, man. Big time win. Top 10. Whether it should have been a top 10 win or not, got you a top 10 win on the road, traveled out to the West Coast. Matched up with a team that can give you some size in some places, and a team that shoots a lot of threes, which isn't really South Carolina's strength defensively. And to hold them to 1 of 14 shooting from three-point land was a massive W in my book, and just kind of set the tone for what this team can do defensively.
What about you, KB? Was it the game that you thought it was going to be, or was it relatively easy for the Lady Gamecocks?
Man, I do think it was a game I thought it was going to be. Even if we go back to, you know, when this was first scheduled, we knew the hype coming into it because we thought Juju was playing, we thought Malaysia was playing, we thought Chloe was playing, and then obviously we fast forward to now. We don't have those particular players, but I think it's still the game. It was still the game to watch, right? Like I said, it was still exciting if you love the game of basketball, if you love the X's and O's, and it's still one of those games that moves the women's game forward, right? Because we already prepared for next year for the USC versus SC matchup here in our hometown. But overall, I love the game. Gamecocks came out and did what I think they're supposed to do, dominate the boards. It was like 56, I think 30 or 32 or something like that, with 20 of them being offensive rebounds. Okote showed up, Latson showed up, Joyce showed up, and these are the players that we thought should be showing up at the right time in the big game. So kudos to them. I don't think we had a lot of mistakes kind of throughout the game that we've probably seen in some of these, non-conference or these unranked type games.
Right.
I loved it, man, on both ends of the court, offensively and defensively.
Well, glad the Gamecocks got the win. Was kind of if I was the coach, I wouldn't of the Trojans, I wouldn't have started freshman Jazzy Davidson. Again, she played good the game before the Gamecocks game against the Gamecocks, but she was a freshman. I would have still worked her in. I mean, and me and Stat talked about it a little bit. Starting her early, got her 2 quick fouls playing against a veteran like Tessa. Like, I get it. She was in some polls or some rankings the number 1 player. It just depends, her, Chavez, whatever. But I just wouldn't have did that. I think that threw them off. And then their other guards didn't really show up to play. It's like, and some of that's caused by South Carolina, be it no doubt. But in big time games, big time players got to make some big time plays. You know what I'm saying? So that was kind of disappointing to see. At least, it almost like the Gamecocks had it in hand. At least I don't think it was ever a threat that the Trojans were gonna win. You know what I'm saying? So I know everybody ain't like that, but I like when it comes to them big time matchups, like Jeff said, it was supposed to be. It's a top 10. Win nonetheless, but I don't know if it should have been. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I think we just seen them. Like I said, obviously they skated by North Carolina State at the time, and maybe they should not have. And like I said, they getting like a little test, against a better team for sure, and they just getting exposed. Obviously they missing one of their star players as well, and missing some players from last year, but I think we kind of seeing who they really are. You know what I'm saying? They if they don't get the win in North Carolina State, we're not really talking about a top 10 matchup, right? You know what I'm saying? Or a top 15 matchup.
All right. I think if they lose that game to NC State, then we kind of expect even more, of a blowout, I guess you would say.
Right. I mean, because you think about it, they went from 18th to 8th in the polls. Because
they wanted to be a top 10 for viewership.
Yeah. Of course. To your point with Jazzy, we were kind of on the same page. You probably don't start her. I think you have to sit her after she picked up the first cheap win, chasing Tess over the screen.
To set her mental down,
let her lock back into the game, watch the game for a possession or two, not even long. Give her a minute and run her back out there. But she picks up the cheap win, chasing Tess over a screen. And then what does South Carolina do 2 possessions later? They clear out and tell Tessa to go right at her. And bam, now here's number 2. And you're like a minute and 45 seconds into the game, and now she's chilling on the bench. And it's like, and that's their mean.
Yeah. Go ahead, I think that might be more coaching than anything, too, man. I definitely hear what you guys are saying, like coming off that North Carolina State win, she, showed up and showed out, right? So we living in the moment and be like, okay, we got to have her in the lineup. And, obviously I'm thinking coach thinking the same thing, but we talking situational basketball. Like you said, you can't have her on those type of matchups if this is your offensive start, right? You know what I'm saying? You can't put her in those positions of, picking up a foul here, picking up 2 fouls here. Like if this is all we got to protect that. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's more coaching than anything.
Right, I totally agree, and that's what I'm saying. Like as a coach, if it was me, I wouldn't have started her for one. Like I said, you don't just ride. Okay, yeah, like the games before that, she actually was cold. She caught fire. Mm-hmm. She's coming into her own against NC State. I need that to happen a little bit more before I start you. Plus, you're a freshman. This is, one of the top tier programs in the nation, other than UConn. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going, and I know you're gonna be jacked up mentally, to go against the Gamecocks. You know what I'm saying? And so. Again, if we looking at across the court or across the bench, on the other side of the time clock, Dawn has always had good bench play. So it's like a spark off the bench. That's what Jazzy was for them. So now you start her, whether she does good or not. Now you took away your spark off the bench. You know what I'm saying? So I just don't know, especially in a non-con. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe Gottlieb was thinking, hey, let's try it out to see what it looked like. But I don't know if that was a good look.
The other thing on the Jazzy side of things too is this was a completely different look and maybe something she won't see outside of UCLA the rest of the year is the length that South Carolina throws at her, with Tessa being 6 foot, probably 6'1" as well, and then McKeer being on her coming off the bench, who is also 6'1" and is longer than she is. It's not the same as when you're going up against 5'10" that she was going up against NC State. Now those shots you're getting off that are probably not good shots to begin with, you're not even able to get them off because there's no room.
Right. So with the big victory over the Trojans and then turn around and get the blowout win over Winthrop, KB, what's one thing you say we learned about the Gamecocks in these last 2 victories?
Man, I've definitely seen defensive improvement, but probably the biggest thing that I'm gonna call out, which I kind of called out in the beginning of the season, is the play of Oko. Like I said, in the beginning of the season, we didn't really see her hit the boards. We're trying to see her. She's trying to find her way, into a new system, right? New team, new system. Maybe not wanting to step on toes, whether it's offensively or defensive rotations, things like that. We fast forward 2, 3, 4, 5 games later, we seeing the double that we expected from her, right? Like we see her getting plays called for her from an offensive standpoint. We see her in double-digit rebounds, which that should be every game. But we're starting to find out like who she really is with our team. Like we knew who she was with her former team, but with us, this is the player that we need her to be.
Right, and to your point, just working out some of the chemistry with the other players. You saw in the Winthrop game where Joyce is looking to take it to the rack. Oko's kind of in the way. She's like Joyce is used to Chloe, knowing when she's coming, getting, going to the other block, clearing out, giving her the space to drive, and Oko's kind of in the way. And it's like, what I'm saying? It doesn't hurt against a team like Winthrop, but it's good that you can get those kind of games to work those kinks out. What about you? Do you ever like coming from the SC win to the big blowout over Winthrop?
The one thing that I took from the SC win, the one negative I had about that was that Southern Cal scored on the same inbound play 3 times. And as a coach, get me with it once, never again. And it was a simple, basic double elbow curl with Jazzy being the second curl, and they hit her for the midi 2 times back to back, and then eventually got her with a third. And so that's one thing I'm looking to see if we can clean up is the inbound defense under our own basket. On the positive side, over these last 2 games, is we're starting to see Latson figure out her role on the team and kind of find when to put her foot on the gas. Mm-hmm. And that's what we all said is like, we don't need you to go for 25. But there are going to be times this season, and we saw it in the Southern Cal game, we went in like a little 4.5-minute stretch of no offense. We can't have that. Like, that's why we brought you in. Right. You're the instant offense. And so we're starting to see that the last 2 games, and hopefully she can continue to build on that to play within the system, but don't be afraid to turn yourself loose some and go get yours.
Yeah, I think, like you said, the new girls are definitely, even the freshmen, they're working their way in. I think sometimes still you can see definitely, like I saw in the Winthrop game, Makira's on a fast break. Like she had her mind made up. I was going, and she ended up getting a foul, but you could tell she missed the bunny because somebody was standing down there. It's like she had to get some control. It's like, all right, find your rhythm in the game. Don't press it. The game will come to you. But the things are rounding into form. I'm saying? A couple more games. Got Duke up on the slate coming in next week. Duke in Vegas. Now, we all thought Duke was going to be, better than they currently are. We don't know what they're going to turn out to be the rest of the season. But currently, that they're not looking like the preseason top 10 team, under Lawson that we thought they were. So are you expecting this to be a blowout, or are you expecting a good game from Duke?
Nah, from what I've seen the last 2 weeks, this might be 20-25 easy, just chilling. Right. And that's, for what started the year as a preseason top 10 matchup, It doesn't look that way. It doesn't feel that way, and it don't smell that way. I think this thing could get ugly.
KB, you thinking the same, or you thinking maybe Duke kind of looking ahead to the Gamecocks? You know what I'm saying, overlooking other opponents.
No, man, I'm definitely thinking the same, man. I'm for sure disappointed, man. Coming into the season, I was definitely one of the ones kind of high on Duke from an ACC perspective. But when you see some of the losses that they have, the tight games that they have, I mean, you got tight games or losses against teams you pay to play. You know what I'm saying? you paying the athletic department to play, and it's like, it's definitely something not clicking when you have those type of games. So coming into this, I definitely expect close to a 20-point win on the road here. Well, both teams obviously are on the road, but I can't see Duke handling us down low or either on the perimeter and on either case.
Yeah, I'm gonna take some time this weekend, and I want to look at some games to see what's going on actually with Duke. Because again, I still hold Carol Lawson as a good coach. I don't know if I know. Bro, they lost the last game, and the other team had some girls get kicked out after some kind of brawl or something. Like, how you still lose?
West Virginia played the entire second half with the 5 girls that were on the court, and they won by 9.
Bro, that's not good if you're trying to be a tournament team. We ain't even talking about preseason, top 10 ranking no more. That's if you're trying to make the field of 68 or whatever it is these days. Listen, if the other team loses, they subs. Like, dog, in the whole second half, come on, man.
Oh, no. All right, if that's your AAU team, what the boys doing the next day? What the boys doing the next
day? After the game, we pulling the coach from Syracuse football. You know what I'm saying? We on the court. We running some 17s and 5.5s. Dog, now you can go suicide, go old school, but they definitely gonna run hard all week that week. Listen, I'm talking about if I'm Duke, I'm like, we just lost to a team that had no subs.
Right, exactly.
And let's keep it a buck. We both know that if that happened to Coach I, them boys would have been walking home from Atlanta, and that would have been their punishment. They'd been running up 85 trying to get back to the field.
Yeah, we ain't playing on Sunday. Like that. No, Friday night. No, we're coming back.
We're coming back. Right. We're not even paying for the hotel on Saturday night. We hitting the road. We're going back home. Obviously, y'all didn't come to play basketball. You know what I'm saying? Right. Obviously, I should have brought some more kids. So, Duke got to get it together because I'm with y'all. I think this, and when you look at the schedule preseason, you're like, oh, Duke in Vegas. And then the next day it's either Texas or UCLA. Like, oh man, the Gamecocks gonna get 2 really good matchups before conference play start. Now, I mean, it's already looking like the Gamecocks might as well be playing with Winthrop again. I mean, I don't know. And now one thing is we know Dawn gonna have these ladies ready. For this matchup, they go in and handle their business. Maybe they get a lot of, just like in the Winthrop game, she get to work on a lot of, rotations, different lineups, and get ready for that game the next day. You see that happening instead because she did a lot of that in the Winthrop game.
Yeah, I mean, now the key is going to be one thing we haven't done against. It took a while to do it against Clemson. We never did it against Southern Cal. Is we've had our foot right there, and we haven't applied pressure to the throat. Right. And so if we get up 10 in the first quarter, that can't get cut back down to 2. That needs to get bumped up to 15 or 18. And so that's the thing I'm most looking forward to in this game. Can you put a good basketball team away? Just go ahead and bury them in the game and then let you get whatever work in you're trying to get in. But you got to put them away first.
Right.
Yeah, I think that kind of comes back to for us hopefully seeing a complete game out of the Gamecocks. Like we've yet to see a complete game, all 4 quarters on the offensive side and defensive side. Like every game we've seen some type of lapse, right? We've seen some bad rotations. We've seen the girls go on scoring streaks. We've seen us not score for 4 or 5 minutes. Like I think that's the next step, and kind of what you touched on as well, Jeff. Like when you see it for a full game, you're gonna have your foot on the throat. And then it's 20-point game at halftime at that point.
Right. Mm-hmm. Now, one thing we talked about this a couple of games ago. While South Carolina is, I want to say, leading all major college women's basketball in 3-point percentage defense, the other teams still get a lot of clean looks. That's the only thing. Like, I want to see that. Now, Duke is only shooting about 33%, so I don't think that's going to be an issue against Duke. But I haven't checked out Texas and UCLA enough to know. I'm going to have to watch them this weekend. But that's these are things that we know that the Gamecocks can do, and we want them to clean up, going into trying to run for another natty. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to the South Carolina women's basketball program, we're not talking about just, wins during the regular season. You're always talking about trying to get to the natty, and that's some things because you don't want that to come back and bite you later on. So, all right. So what's a matchup that you're looking forward to in this Duke game, Stat?
So for me, it won't start this way, but I'm really looking forward to the sophomore from Duke, Toby Fournier, I believe is how you pronounce her last name, going up against McKeer. Both super, super long, super athletic. Toby can dunk, in traffic. So I'm all for, let's just see two athletic girls go at it and see who's more athletic. Bring it on.
Right. What about you, KB?
Yeah, I'm gonna use the same player definitely from the Duke side, but I think that's a matchup with Joyce, man. As far as from a starting lineup perspective, but I want to see Joyce play some more defense. Like I said, we've heard the rumblings. We've talked about it on the pod. Like, is Joyce really playing defense? Like, we know she can score. We can get a couple of rebounds. But have we really seen her shut somebody down or lock somebody up on the defensive side? But I think this is her opportunity. See if she can do that without getting into foul trouble, but also still give us the same offensive effort on the other side. So I think this is a Joyce matchup right here.
Right, I think that's a good call out, KB, because Toby is Duke's leading scorer and Joyce is South Carolina's leading scorer. You know what I'm saying? What's crazy is it almost seems like it's been a quiet year for Joyce, but she has been, getting buckets. So right now she is leading the Gamecocks in scoring. Going forward, we got some streaks, KB, on the line for the Gamecocks. You got those streaks up?
Yeah. So we currently got that 82 game win streak against unranked opponents. Still alive right now. I don't see that being broken anytime soon. Unfortunately, we've had a couple of streaks being broken in the past, even going back to that home UConn game that we had, which was, very disappointing going into last season. But we're focused on the wins right now. Like I said, we're got 82, looking for 83.
Right. So we got Queens College coming up. Definitely, not going to happen. You got Duke, which currently it doesn't look like that streak's going to be over. Texas and UCLA will both be ranked wins, so we won't have to worry about that. Louisville women, Stat, are they currently ranked?
They are currently, but we'll see what happens when the new poll drops next Monday. They might not be by the time, because they're like 23rd or 24th, so they might not be by the time that game rolls around. And something to keep in mind, and the reason why we're bringing this streak up, South Carolina is at 82. The record for SEC teams is Tennessee with 84, and then Tennessee again with 85. So they are right on the cusp of history.
Gotcha. And then I'm looking at the schedule, and after Louisville is NC Central, Penn State, USF, Florida Gulf Coast, Providence, and then you get into SEC play. So I think now in SEC play, if there was going to be the streak was going to be broken, I for one would think it would have to be an unranked SEC team, but I don't think any of those are going to beat the Gamecocks either. So
and that's why I just don't see it happening for a while. Like if it was to happen, it would have to be a Louisville or a Duke who started the season off ranked high, had some bad games, but they have the talent to hang. Well, at least they thought they did preseason. I think that's the type of matchup where you could potentially see the streak in. An unranked SEC team, the Penn States and stuff of the world, those just all scream 25-point easy dubs.
Right. So, Stat, you brought up in the group chat, keys to success for the Lady Gamecocks going forward this season. You've seen a small sample size, but what do you think the girls need to do, the ladies need to do, going forward to keep the success going?
Yeah, I mean, the big thing is, Dawn says it pretty much in every interview. You have 7 players that are in a different role than they were last year, whether because of a bigger role on the current team. They're in a new program. And then on top of that, you have the 2 freshmen added in. And so Raven is the only girl that returns that's in her same role from last year. And so the key is going to be, can these girls come together as a cohesive unit and learn the game of basketball together? While they're all super talented, the style that Dawn wants to run, you have to kind of understand each other. I know one of y'all brought it up earlier with the Joyce and Ocott situation. We run a lot of high-low. They have to be able to feel what each other's going to do before the person does it. And so to me, that's the biggest key is can they just continue to learn the game of basketball together? They have the talent on the court to hang or beat anybody in the country.
Right. I think to that point, Dawn said that when she subs people in and out, she's not looking at their performance, that individual player. She's always like, if I take one player off, how does the next 5, perform together? And I think we've seen a lot of that in the Winthrop game. So I think that's one of the things, like you said, is that going forward, like just getting that rotation right. The girls that's in new roles, maybe at more minutes or handling the ball more or whatever it is. Raven shooting more threes this year, saying that she had to shoot or one than she shot last year, whether she wanted to or not. KB, what about you? Like long-term success, trying to get that next natty. What you think the keys to success?
I think we go as far as Latson and Ocott, man, our 2 transfers. I love what I'm seeing from them as far as a progression standpoint. We touched on, both of them just kind of, getting accustomed to like new players, right? New system, coming from the ACC to the SEC type competition as well. And I've seen them do nothing but get better. And then we fast forward to the USC game, both of them showed up. Wingate game, the thing I will pull out of that is efficiency. So we've seen efficiency at that point. Like I said, we knew the game was going to be the game as far as the score, but we've seen Latson start out like 8 for 8, 9 for 9 or something like that. We've seen Ocott do the same thing and just dominate the board. So going forward, like we got to have them every night. And from a Latson standpoint, we got to have her aggressive from the beginning of the games. I know you touched on it, Jeff, as far as like if she's not getting hers in the beginning of the game, she kind of fades away a little bit. Don't know how to get back in the groove. The USC game, we seen Raven kind of start out high. We didn't necessarily need her, but we do need her. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So we just gonna go as far as those transfers for me, man. And I just see them doing nothing but getting better game over game.
Right. I think a lot of the new players are the keys to success, being it Ocott or Latson. And also the freshmen, and Stat, you talked about this, the development of McKeer. You know what I'm saying? She comes in early, you know what I'm saying? And she's played at this point, at some point in each game, combined, maybe not every single game, but combined through the season, she's played 1 through 4. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's definitely a key too. So speak to that, like her progress.
Yeah, to me, McKeer is definitely going to be the X factor of this team and where they end up going in March with her personal development. You talk about her being able to play 1 through 4. She's already solidified the first person off the bench role, that 6th man. But I think it's just what all she can offer you. We haven't seen her really turn loose shooting the basketball. We saw her hit a little shoulder shrug into a sidestep against Winthrop the other night. That was a nice move, but she has a lot more in the tank offensively than what we've seen. But what we've seen from her on the defensive end, I think is a huge bonus for Dawn to be able to sub her in basically at any position and say, this is your assignment. And then it's almost kind of like another Raven. You have just another on-ball defender that's going to hound them for 94 feet. And we know how that is. When you play physical defense and you're hounding somebody, it can kind of take them out of the game.
Right. I want to see, I think long-term is not just the lineups that Dawn uses, but how she uses them. Like for me personally, if I had a Latson, a Tessa, and an Ocott on the floor, I'm putting them in like a little triangle action on one side of the field, let Ocott, Latson go in the pick and roll. You pick your poison, because if you stop both of them, then Latson, you just kick it out. Because whoever's playing Tessa in the corner, they can't sag off. You know what I'm saying? Because if they do, we just kicking it to Tessa so she can bury the corner 3. So I'm interested to see how she actually uses the lineups that she puts in. We know all the girls can play. So that's what I'm looking for, like keys to success, because again, somebody get in foul trouble, the girls come off the bench. All y'all know I like Ayla McDowell. I think she's gonna be key down the stretch as well. That's more depth as well. And I think Dowder coming in for Oko, if Oko gets in foul trouble or she gets to the point where she's missing some layups or things of that nature. So good problems to have, or good issues to be aware of going forward. You know what I'm saying? Again, I don't think we'll now until they play Texas or UCLA. I think as it stands right this moment, I don't think Duke's going to give them that challenge that we thought they were going to get. But they getting it the next night, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, so KB, it doesn't matter whether they play Texas or UCLA. Like, what you thinking then? Is it going to be status quo for the Gamecocks, or this going to be that first real challenge?
Man, I think they do get a real challenge once they get past Duke, obviously, in this particular part. But I think we do see a tighter rotation. I know you're touching on rotation here, but at some point in time, I think we just get to the 7, maybe 8-man rotation. Obviously, McKeer coming off. Ayla, I think she kind of fits in where she can get in when it comes there. I think we got Maddie back today. So obviously, I think from a backup point guard, she's in the rotation. And I think it is Dowda on the rotation. I know Stat hates to hear that, but I think she's got experience. We know we've used her in the UCLA game. We used her in the Oklahoma game last year, and she give us a good 5 to 8 minutes. You know what I'm saying? And those 5 to 8 minutes are really rest. You know what I'm saying? We need to get our Oko rest, right? So that's really what we're looking for. And don't blow the lead, don't do nothing crazy, just enough minutes to kind of get us through a particular a particular session.
Right. For you, Stat, not necessarily who you want to play, but who do you think would be the biggest challenge at this stage in the season, Texas or UCLA?
UCLA. They have Lauren Betts at 6'7", has all the post moves in the world, and is also an elite rim protector. They also get out and they get in transition very well. They killed us last year because we didn't get back on defense, and they got a lot of easy threes. And so UCLA is a difficult matchup because of the stuff they do well versus the stuff that we try to hide. And so that's the matchup I want the most, because I want that test. I want to see what Okite can do against another elite big. I want to see what she can do defensively and offensively. And then on the other side of that, I want to see, are we able to clean up some of the stuff that bit us last year and prove that we're already a better team than we were a year ago?
Right. What about you, KB? Because they do have Betts at UCLA, but they do have Oldacre at Texas.
Yeah. I'm with Jeff on the UCLA side of things. Like I said, it might be a little bit more personal just from a get back standpoint. You know what I'm saying, trying to get that lick back type vibe. But at the same time, like I said, I do want to see that matchup down low. I don't think we've had that type of test just yet. And we'll get the Texas matchup in the conference. All right, so we good on that. But if we can get to UCLA now, just to kind of let's measure it. Let's see where we at right now. And I think that's a good out of conference test that we kind of need, because we know the conference is going to be the conference for us.
Right. I got Mr. S.C. Brett getting in, saying Michigan women's basketball coach showed a blueprint on stopping Notre Dame's Hannah Hidalgo that S.C. Staley, Coach Staley couldn't figure out, in his opinion. Staley is a great coach. Lucky, I would say. So you think Staley isn't a great coach at all, or just when it comes to Hannah Hidalgo, SC Brett?
Yeah, we're gonna need some clarification on that.
And also, there's a lot of film out, because this is Hannah Hidalgo's 3rd year. Dawn Staley coached against Hannah Hidalgo in her first ever game. There was no film. So look, SC Brad, I was gonna give you your flowers, because boy, were you right about Duke.
Facts.
And they continue to plummet. But on Chuckin Buckets, there will be no Dawn Staley hatred around these parts. I know that.
Yeah.
Dawn is queen, and we building all the statues.
Shout out to Mr. SC Brad. He called the Duke overration, if that was be a word. At the beginning of the season, after they lost one game, he said it again. And then they lost again to a team again. We talked about it earlier, who didn't even have subs in the second half. So I'm with you on that. I'm gonna commend you on that one, Mr. SC Bread. But I don't know if I can get on you on the same road with you with the Dawn Kane coach type deal, because I know that Dawn gets a lot of a lot of All-Americans and things of that nature. Same thing could be said about Oriema or Pat Summitt, rest in peace, or Andy Landers when he was at Georgia, or Kim Oki or whoever. But I'm gonna tell you, as a former coach, it takes to manage the personalities and get players to buy in when they're all superstars coming in. That's almost harder than trying to coach one or two superstars with a whole bunch of role players, to be honest with you. Like to get a player like a footballer to buy in, and sometimes they don't buy in. You know what I'm saying? So strategy wise, again, to Stat's point, Hidalgo's first game, only thing you got is high school film. I mean, and that's not really telling you what you're gonna do in college, but I'm pretty sure if they play, and then not to mention Hidalgo is that chick. So I mean, Michigan had a good game against her. Cool, but I don't think a lot of people gonna be able to have that kind of game against Hidalgo. But shout out to Mr. SC Bread for getting in the comments.
I think you gotta have things in perspective though too, man. At the same time, like I said, everything that you guys said are true, but we don't know what the game plan was. We don't know if the game plan was like let Hannah get off and we still get the win. You know what I'm saying? We don't know what the game plan was, or to key in on these other Notre Dame players at the time. And to your point, Jeff, like, we 3 years in on film right now at this point. Like, yeah, we can't be a prisoner of the moment. Yeah, she got off the other night. Don't get me wrong, but I understand who she was playing also at the other night. So we go to the Michigan game. Coming into that game, there's no doubt about it. They said pressure her or double team her or make her make tough decisions. So that's coaching on the Michigan side.
Right.
But
Michigan's coach is a good coach. You know what I'm saying? Man, that 2 years ago. I mean, was that last year they was playing South Carolina? They kept running the same backs, the flare screen for the 3-point. The girls shoot the threes.
Last year, that the double down elevator screen. See it once, see it 10 times. I'm like, bruh, we're getting caught in this trash.
Facts. And it could be, sometimes as a coach, you tell them, but they got to actually go out there and execute it. So I would say this: if Coach Staley is lucky, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, and she is lucky for a lot of years now. So
at least 3 lucky years, ain't it? You know what I'm saying? That's what we talking about. At least.
So we'll see how it pans out. But hey, I do for real think Michigan's basketball coach is a really good coach. We've seen that, and shout out to them for putting the blueprint out there just in case the Gamecocks have to play Notre Dame this year. You know what I'm saying? So now we know.
And we appreciate you, SC Brad, in the comments every week. We love it. We all for the back and forth, man. Bring it on.
I do have a question, Mr. SC Brad. Listen, we've been on the live for 30 plus minutes, and you just getting in. You usually hear from the beginning, my guy. What's going on? You slipping, my guy. You slipping. So, yeah, man, just to keep going. Listen, SEC women's basketball is getting close. We got to talk about that landscape. Again, we're going to get to see Texas play UCLA. I've caught Oklahoma playing a couple of games. KB, what you thinking, man? Is it kind of what we said? Is it those 5 or 6 teams, Gamecocks, LSU, Texas, Oklahoma, maybe an Ole Miss, and maybe a Vandy if old girl can get going? Michaela.
Yeah, sure. Definitely is still my top 3. Lady Gamecocks, LSU, Texas. I think previously in my predictions, I had Tennessee up there and talked about Vanderbilt, but Tennessee has definitely slipped for me. Like I said, just seeing what they've kind of put out as far as the product, as far as in-game situations. Like I said, we've seen them take just a crazy loss early in the season, but now we've seen them playing some close games, and it's just inconsistencies is what it speaks to. So I can't roll with that going into SEC play, and I don't see how you go deep in the SEC tournament for at least with that.
Right, and I might have to watch Tennessee play a worthy opponent too, because I was never a fan of the up and down pace that they play, especially with the with the talent that they have. I don't think the style fits the talent. You see what I'm saying? So I was watching. Oh, okay, got you. I got you. No problem, no problem. Yes, I have called LSU too. Listen, right now I'm with KB. I think it's Texas, LSU, and the Gamecocks. Of course, the Gamecocks being number one. I don't know right now. I don't know who would win if Texas and LSU play because I'm gonna be honest with you, their rotation look real good right now at LSU, especially with Fuwale coming off the bench. And they look a little bit deeper, and they got some girls down low that not necessarily gonna out physical you, but they got a little presence down there that can get some rebounds here and there. And to go with that backcourt that they got, right now, I don't know if Texas can handle that. You know what I'm saying? To be honest with you, stat landscape of the SEC women's basketball right now, 5-6 games in. What you thinking?
Yeah, I think it's the three-headed monster. The wild card will be Oklahoma. Now, Oklahoma isn't very deep, but they do have a big three of their own. And so they have a legit post presence in Reagan Beers. They have the freshman in Chavez. And then they got the transfer. I believe she transferred from Indiana, but a legit three-point shooter. I mean, she hit 2 or 3 coming off of screens the other night. And so they kind of have it all. They have a shooter. They have a guard that can facilitate and score herself. And then they have the post presence. Now, again, I don't know how deep they can go, but they have enough to, if they get in the right kind of matchup against any one of those 3 teams, they could find themselves in a battle in the fourth quarter.
Okay.
And maybe them to play spoiler.
Listen, for me, and again, I want to watch Chavez play, a good team. I know they played UCLA earlier, but I want to watch them in a full game. And like when Beers gets in foul trouble, like that's the problem. Like Chavez is good. The 3-point shooter used to be good. It's easier to replace that than to replace somebody like a Beers. That's what, like when she gets in foul, if she gets in foul trouble, I think that's when it goes down here if the other team has a post, you know what I'm saying? So that's what I think. SEC women's basketball landscape on the rise again, about another 4 or 5 more games, and then it's going to be right here, man. Time to get down and dirty with it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I want to say one thing, man. I think just, us talking about, LSU, Gamecocks, things like that, man. But I do think a lot of people don't put enough, let's say, I don't know, strength or just focus or importance on strength of schedule, right? Like we look at the LSU team blow out these girls. We look at Fuwale going off. We look at, them doing what they're supposed to do, no doubt about it. But, it makes you almost a prisoner on the moment, be like, man, these girls are great, you know what I'm saying, based on the competition that they're playing. And we get caught up in those moments, but we look at go up against a USC or a North Carolina State and, not just talking about us, just any team, like I said, a good non-conference schedule going into it, and you don't really know what you got until you throw those girls into the fire. And to speak on the LSU, I don't think they've been thrown into the fire yet. Like I said, I've definitely said they probably got some of the best guards in the country. Maybe definitely starting 3. I definitely still think that, but I need to see them go against some competition for sure.
Right. Miss Essie Bird said, didn't Oklahoma get handled by UCLA? Yes. That's why I think stats putting them kind of on the outside, of the big 3. Because if you take away the big 3, then I think Oklahoma maybe. I still put Ole Miss in there because I like their coach. They're not a super they're not gonna overwhelm you with the rivals and ESPN rankings with the recruits, but I think their coach is the hard nosed kind of coach, and I think she gets that out of her players too, where she can upset some people. And again, still early in the season, maybe Tennessee gets it together, but currently, I don't know. They kind of up and down like a roller coaster at Dollywood. I don't know what's going on in Tennessee. You know what I'm saying? So, but Oklahoma, they'll be a tournament team, though. You know what I'm saying? And I'm pretty sure, you know what I'm saying? I think you guys agree with that. They'll be a tournament team. Now, where they fall in the tournament, I don't know.
And that's why I think the Oklahomas, the Ole Miss, the Tennessees, I think those type of teams have to play spoiler and have to try to upset one of the big 3. Now, can they? I don't know, but they all bring something different. Like nobody's going to play you harder, I think, than Ole Miss outside the top 3. Like they're going to be physical for 4 quarters, whether they're down by 2, down by 20. Like they're going to play hard because that's their coaches in her DNA. Tennessee is going to full court pressure the entire game, and they're going to
shoot a lot of threes.
Jack up a bunch of threes. And so if the 3 gods are on their side that night and they're cashing in craziness, they could catch lightning in a bottle. And then with Oklahoma, they have some legit playmakers, and we know sometimes that's all it takes. You hang around long enough, and you got a girl good enough, they can win you a basketball game.
Interesting to see, man. Interesting to see. So going ahead, and we're gonna look back a quick second at that Duke game. What are you thinking the score might look like, KB, going into that Duke game coming next Wednesday? If you're just now joining us, just to let you know we will be doing a live watch party for the South Carolina Duke game next Wednesday at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So y'all watch along with us. Again, I'll be level-headed. Stat, if it start out good, he'll be good. But if it don't start out good, he'll be screaming for timeouts that he know Dawn isn't gonna call, and KB will be somewhere in the middle. So KB, what you thinking, man? Like final prediction for that game, how it's gonna play out?
I do think we hit the 80 mark in this game. I do think it's a 25 point win. Unfortunately, man, I just don't have any confidence in that Duke team right now. Different than what I was thinking in the beginning of the season for sure. So they definitely proving me wrong in this aspect. But a lot of that is because of the Duke team that we've seen, but the other side of that is because of the Lady Gamecocks team that we've seen over the last couple games. I think they're finding a groove. They're Laxton's getting her confidence. Oko is doing her thing. So I think we're starting to see them pull it together a little earlier than we have in past years before conference play.
What about you, Stat?
Man, I think KB needs to get out of my notebook. What I think, man, chopping me to death. Well, I will give you the score. But it follows all the things that KB said. I'm sitting at like 84-58. Little 26-point win, hold them under 60, score more than 80. Sign me up.
Right. Miss S.C. Bray gets in and said Memphis women's basketball took Ole Miss to overtime. And that sounds about par for the course. That's an Ole Miss team for you. And then they'll go play LSU and take them to overtime and lose. You know, that type of deal. It's like one of those things where you know they're not going to win the conference. They're not going to be in contention, but it's like a team that you kind of like South Carolina football. Like, you know, they almost beat Alabama to, you know what I'm saying? That kind of had Texas A&M on the ropes, but just it'd be like that sometimes, you know what I'm saying? It's better than playing it's worse. I'd say as far as this, it's you rather play like a Kentucky football or an Arkansas football than to play South Carolina because they could just upset you. That's kind of how Ole Miss girls basketball is. What you gonna say, Stat?
I was gonna say, man, look, I did good flushing all that last hour. You didn't need to rip that Band-Aid back off. Got me in here trying to punch my laptop.
All right.
Also, what about you? What about you, Coach I? What you thinking score wise?
Listen, man, the Duke putting on film, I can only go by what they putting on film, dog. Like, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. I see this game going kind of like the Clemson game with it. It may not be an 80-point game, but it's probably gonna be 25 plus point, victory for the Gamecocks, man. Unless Duke again has something in store. They played them tough last year and turned in all that good jazz, but this ain't the same team, obviously. So I'm seeing like a 25 plus point win for the Gamecocks on Wednesday, man. So just to be real with you, listen, we doing a live watch party. If the Gamecocks jump out and it's like a 20-30 point game at halftime, then we may have to go multi-view. And find something else like some soccer or something being played at the same time, man. So final thoughts.
Well, I was gonna say it's Thanksgiving. It's Thanksgiving feast week, so right. It'll be all kinds of basketball on.
Facts. So you know what I'm saying, and I still have. I did watch the Duke men's basketball play the other night against Kansas. Now Kansas was doing good until their big, the big players for the team got into foul trouble. Shout out to the Boozer brothers. You know what I'm saying? They did good. I like the little. I want to say they got like a small forward that can hit threes or whatever. I can't pronounce his name though. So Duke got the win in Madison Square Garden. So I need to start catching some of the guys' games as well. But final thoughts, KB, before we get up out of here.
Man, I like what we see out of the Gamecocks, man. I touched on it in a few minutes. I think we're headed in the right direction, and we've been able to fine tune before we get to conference play, which, like I said, we haven't seen that kind of in the past. But I like what we see, man. Even from reps from our younger players, our freshmen coming in and getting some early minute reps, and they're going to be key to the rotation going down the stretch. So I like it.
Right. What about you? Okay, so before we get out of here, I do have one thing that I did forget. So y'all hold on with us. Hold on with us. Hey, just take a break right here. It's your boy Coach I, Chuckin Buckets. You know how we get down, man. Just to let you know, today's episode brought to you by Swipe Fast. That's swipe with a Y. Swipe Fast. If you're looking for a way to keep majority of that hard-earned profit, you know what I'm saying, and still continue to grow your business, check out Swipe Fast. It's a merchant services company that's got over 26 years of combined experience helping businesses of all sizes, man, with debit card, credit card processing, things of that ways, you know, in the most efficient and cost-saving ways, man. So whether you're a restaurant, retail store, e-commerce, or you process business-to-business payments, Swipe Fast has a solution to fit all the needs, man. You can visit them at swipefast.com. That's swipe with a Y, fast.com. Or you can just call them at 1-800-597-0713. No strings attached, and get you a cost analysis. Don't forget ask about that revolutionary pricing cash discount too, man. It's saved business owners up to 99% of the current processing fees. Let them know Chuckin Buckets sent you, man. Now back to the regular scheduled program. That's right, man. And don't forget, we will be live next Wednesday for a watch party for the South Carolina women's basketball taking on Duke Blue Devils at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. There won't, of course, because of the holiday, won't be a show on Thursday on Thanksgiving. We will drop, let me look at the schedule here. After they play Duke, of course, on Thanksgiving, that's when they play Texas or UCLA. Is that correct?
Correct.
Yep.
Let's see here. And then the following game, we will drop a preview on for that Thursday game. We'll drop a video preview for the Louisville game that Sunday or Monday before the game. And then after the game, we'll go live at our regular scheduled time at 9:00 to give our reactions to that Louisville game. So make sure you're tuning in. LSU women's basketball for Wiley had 21 tonight. Listen, I get it. Like KB said, they ain't played a whole bunch, but listen, they're doing what they're supposed to against those teams. And Fuali is looking good and comfortable coming off the bench. I'm gonna say this. I hope Moki don't mess that up when it comes to bigger matchups and say, "Oh, now we got to toss Fuali out there in the start lineup." Like if it's working now, at least at the beginning of the bigger matchups, conference play, let's see how that works again. I want them to be at top form when they play the Gamecocks, so there ain't no excuses. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? That's how it is. You know what I'm saying?
And you know, we've always
LSU first matchup, first real matchup. I don't know.
Let me see. Let me find that school.
SC bread. That's what we need. That's what we need to be looking at.
Right, when they play somebody for real, right?
While you're pulling that up, I was going to say we've always said it don't matter who starts, it matters who finishes.
Yeah. Right. Currently, they playing or tonight it's like 11 seconds left according to the web. Alcorn State is who they currently playing. Listen, not for nothing. And I know we don't use transitive property a lot when we analyze, and I know the typical fan likes to do that. Hey, we beat them and y'all lost to them, so we're gonna beat y'all. But what we can do is compare apples to apples a little bit. Gamecocks are playing Duke on Wednesday, and then Thursday, December the 4th, Louisville is taking on Duke. So, I mean, not Louisville, LSU is taking on Duke. So we will get to see LSU against the same type team to see. Yeah. Now, LSU and South Carolina play two different brands of basketball, but they do get to go against a common opponent before, conference play starts. So if anything, we can at least see how they play against common opponents. And I know they do take that into consideration when they're talking about the field of 68 these days, common opponents, things of that nature. And KB, to your question, that'll be the first real game that they have, and it's Duke. After that,
let's look after that.
January the 1st, New Year's Day, Kentucky, LSU, when they get Stratton Company.
Conference play. Okay. All right.
Yeah. Because they play Duke and then they play New Orleans, La Tech, Morgan State, UT Arlington, Alabama State. So I can tell you right now, if nothing else, Fuali heading into conference play, she might be leading the conference in scoring.
Oh, yeah, the PlayStation's on for sure. Yeah.
Right. But then it get real. You know what I'm saying? You got Kentucky, Vandy, Georgia game, and then Texas. So it's right there. You know what I'm saying? So and then Oklahoma. So yeah, it'll come at them, real fast. You know what I'm saying? So we'll get to see what LSU's about. I mean, same thing for South Carolina and Texas. Going into play. Difference is South Carolina and Texas got big time matchups coming up, whether it be each other or whether it be a game against you. Texas plays UCLA for sure, and then they might play each other. Or South Carolina might get a look at UCLA and, like you said, get some get back.
Yeah.
Right. So again, next Wednesday we'll do the live watch party at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and see the Gamecocks take on Lady Blue Devils, and won't be a show on Thanksgiving, of course. We'll drop a video preview for that Louisville game coming up the following week, and then we'll do our reaction live on the following Thursday at 9 p.m. We appreciate everybody getting in. Appreciate Stevie G. What's going on, Stevie G? Where you been? Can Dawn teach Beamer how to win?
Nope.
Hey, nah.
Nope.
I don't know about that.
Appreciate you getting in with us though, Stephen G. But nope.
Right. I think that's no. That's a no. That's a hard no for me. So make sure y'all get in, hit that like and subscribe button. Bring another college basketball fan, SEC women's basketball fan next time you come. We'll be back for my guys, KB, Stat Guy. I'm Coach I. We the Chuckin Bucket Boys. We out of here.
Peace.